Okay, so now that we've got everybody on the right setting, I'll just move on to the next slide a little bit. So as I was saying, the lower the number, the bigger the hole. The bigger the hole means you're actually letting more light in, which is pretty, it makes sense, it's pretty logical in that way. Smaller hole, less light. This also affects your depth of field. For example, if you have a bigger hole, you've got a shallow depth of field. So it will only, so for portraits and that, if you're just focusing on someone at the front, the background will be blurred. With a smaller hole, you'll have a larger depth of field, which this picture here illustrates that. So obviously, it's a lower number, so because it's a lower f-stop, which means a bigger hole, lower depth of field. You can only see the monkey in focus. On the other slide, it's a smaller hole, bigger number, but larger depth of field. So that the first photos letting more light in would be in a lower light setting. The second photos letting less light in would be in a brighter setting. The other thing I also want to show in terms of aperture is just a cool thing you can see on your lens. On your lens, I'll pass this around in a second. It's actually got little numbers up the top. The better the lens, the bigger range of f-stops or aperture that you'll have. So for example, this one goes from 3.5 to 5.6. It's quite a cheap, just a stock standard lens. Which, I mean, to be completely honest, that's fine for shooting most things. It's just, if you want a bigger range of what you can shoot in lower light, brighter light, then you need a lens with a bit of a bigger aperture rating. So I'll pass that one around now. And just be careful not to damage the lens too much. And the other lens I'll pass around as well, just to have a look at while I'm speaking as well, is a bit of a higher end lens. So this is just a prime lens, so you can actually change the focal point or the zoom on it at all. But it's quite an expensive lens. It goes down to f1.8. And the smaller I or whatever is just because it's a wide angle lens, but it goes down to f1.8, so it has a much higher aperture or f-stop range than the other one, which started at 3.5. So for shooting in lower light, this will have a lower aperture, which means you can open up a bigger hole and let more light in. Alrighty. So does everybody understand that? Is there any quick questions about aperture or what setting to have it on if you want to shoot an aperture priority and get used to that? It would be the AV or the A. And moving on, we'll go now to the next subject, which is on shutter speed. So shutter speed basically is the nominal time for which the shutter is open, the time which the film or digital sensor is exposed to light. So the faster shutter speed, the less light you're letting in. The slower shutter speed, the more light you're letting in. So for nighttime photography, or if you want to take photos of the stars, a lot of the time you will need maybe a tripod, because movement, if you've got it open for a long time, it will catch any movement at all. But you can go down to the shutter speed to 30 seconds. So it will stay open for 30 seconds, whereas the fastest shutter speeds on the high-end camera will go up to 1/800th of a second. So, you know, you just straight away, and that's more in sports photography, because especially with motion blur. But obviously you need good light and higher settings for that, because you're not letting a lot of light in that small time frame. To further highlight this, I'll just show you, on your cameras today, to shoot priority shutter speed, so you will manually control the shutter speed, and the camera will automatically adjust the aperture, all the other settings to make sure that you're getting the right exposure. Just change your camera to the S setting, or on some it will be TV. Yeah, on mine it's TV, so it will be S or TV to shoot shutter priority, and as I said, the camera will automatically change all the others. And here's a quick little graph to show, especially when it comes to motion, different aperture, different shutter speed settings. Obviously the quickest one, it's 1/500th of a second. So it's quickly open, will catch your motion, because you won't be moving that quick. That's what have we got there? That's 2 seconds on the bottom one. So basically, yeah, 2 seconds, it's going to be a blurry image if somebody is moving. And obviously on the bottom image you'll be letting a lot more light in as well. To highlight this, what I'll do, I'll pass around my camera as well, but you'll be able to hear the so that there was the shutter speed open for 5 seconds. As you could tell, like you could hear actually how long it was open. And then this is quite a good camera. This is actually goes 8 thousandths of a second. Actually, I'll take off the. Sorry about that. I've just got to take off the 2-second delay. So. And we'll go again now. So it's almost like you can't even tell the difference of how long it's open for. And you can see on the front how it clicks open and shut. And then when you change it to you can notice the difference. So I'll pass it around, and then just to change the dial, it's just a little, because I'm on shutter priority, it's a little dial up the top to change. And yeah, you'll be able to change the settings up there, so I'll pass around my camera as well now. And just be careful with the equipment, obviously, it is expensive equipment, be sure not to touch the front. And yeah, have a little play around with the different shutter speed quality. And here's just another image to do that. So it's not always that you want to capture an image in perfect focus. Sometimes blurred images like waterfalls, or even with sporting images sometimes, like on dirt bikes, if you want the blur of the dirt. You can shoot it at a lower shutter speed so it's not perfectly in focus. For example, that's 1/60th of a second, and that's 1/3 of a second. And that's obviously a slower shutter speed, and the image is blurry, but it's a much better image than the image on the left.